In this video, you are going to learn syllable division rules. Rule 7. When a suffix ed comes at the end of a word, it forms a syllable only when preceded by d or t. Let us try to understand this rule with the help of some basic rules of voiceless and voiced. So all of you try to understand and try to remember what is voiceless and what is voiced sound. And this is the rule about voiceless. Let me read. If the present tense ends in voiceless consonants other than T, then past tense marker D or ED is represented by T. Okay, do you understand the rule? If the present tense ends in voiceless consonants, then the past tense marker D or ED is represented by T. So let us try to understand the rule with the help of these examples. So here you have been given two examples. One is cat and second one is laughed. But let us try to understand the pronunciation of these words to which we are generally habituated, and that is capped, laughed, and the pronunciation of these two is not capped and laughed. What is that? Capped and laughed. Here ed is represented by t, not d. Ed is represented by t, not d. Why? And it is because of this rule. So what is the rule again? If the present tense ends in voiceless consonant. So what is the present tense in this V3 or V2? CAP is a present tense form and CAPPED is a V3 or V2, and laugh is a present tense form and LAU GHED is a V3 or V2. So okay, if the present tense ends in voiceless, CAP is a present tense form, and here this present tense form ends in voiceless sound, that is P. P is a voiceless sound, as this present tense form ends in voiceless sound and this ed is represented by T. Similarly, laugh. Laugh is a present tense form and this present tense form ends in F. See here the phonemic transcription. F means, once again, it is a voiceless consonant. As it is ending in voiceless consonant, ed is represented by T. And I think you understand the first rule. So let us try to understand one more rule of voiced. See, it is the rule about voiced sound. Let me read. If the present tense ends in voiced sound other than D, past tense marker D or ED is represented by D. Just as the first rule, it is also here two more examples you have been given regarding what is that? The second rule, RUBBED. Generally, we pronounce this one rubbed and we pronounce this one bagged. But the pronunciation of these two is, are rubbed, bagged. What is that? Rubbed, bagged. Okay, ED is represented by only D here. But in the first rule, ED is represented by T. What is the rule? The rule is when the present tense ends in voiceless, ed is represented by T. And here, what is the rule? If the present tense ends in voiced, so what is the present tense form? RUB is a present tense form and this present tense form ends in B. B means it is a voiced. So here, what you have to do is to remember how many voiceless and how many voiced. That is important. And as the present tense form ends in voiced, here ed is represented by D. That's it. Got it. So let us go for one more rule. And it is the last and final rule of voiceless and voiced. If the present tense ends in T or D, okay, if the present tense ends in T or D, not voiceless, not voiced. So T is what? Another sound, D is another. And past tense marker D or ED is represented by ID. Okay, let us see these examples. We all say that wanted, we are habituated. Mended, we are habituated. And the pronunciation of these two is what? Wanted, mended. What is that? Not wanted, not mended. What is that? Wanted and mended. Why? Because when the present tense form is ending in T or D, then ED is represented by ID. I think you also got the third rule. So let us try to understand some example of this particular rule. What is the rule? When a suffix ed comes at the end of a word, it forms a syllable only when preceded by d or t. Now you can understand this particular rule very clearly. Wanted, we are habituated to pronounce, and actually it is what? Wanted. See here, division, want plus what is that? Ed. Why ed is separated? And when a suffix ed comes at the end of a word, see here, ed at the end of the word, it forms a separate syllable. It means ed. Ed forms a separate syllable only when preceded by d or t. So when the present tense form ends in t or d only, ed is forming a separate syllable. So as want is ending in T, this ED is forming a separate syllable, and the syllable division is like this, 1 plus ED. In the same manner, mended. As the present tense form mend ending in D, here ED is forming a separate syllable, and the syllable division is mend plus ED. And each and every one has these two syllables, and these two are disyllabic. And I think you can understand this particular rule. Rule 8. When a word ends with LE followed by a consonant, the word is divided before that consonant. Let us try to understand this rule with the help of some example words. These are all example words. Please have a look at. Let us try to understand this rule with the help of this word rumble. And coming to rumble has C plus LE. What is C plus LE? Means the entire rule can be converted into C plus LE. Okay, so in this word there is a C plus LE, and these particular highlighted letters are C plus LE. And coming to the explanation, if the letter before the LE, so this is LE, and if the letter before the LE is a consonant, what is the letter before LE? That is nothing but B. So if the letter before the LE is a consonant, is B consonant or not? Yes, B is a consonant. Divide one letter before it. Do you understand? Divide one letter before it. That means before B you have to put an hyphen. That means you have to divide the syllable. Do you understand? And RUM hyphen and BLE. So where is the division? In between M and B. Why? Because of this rule. Okay, so earlier we learned some kind of rules. VCV. Do you understand? Or what is that? Some more other rules. But here this rule is entirely different to those rules. What is the rule? When a word ends with LE followed by a consonant, the word is divided before that consonant. So before this consonant, we divided, right? Rule 9. When a word ends with CKLE, the word is divided right before LE. Let me say one thing on this occasion. This rule is entirely different to the earlier rule. I am repeating, this rule is entirely different to the earlier rule. The earlier rule is consonant plus LE, but this rule is CK plus LE. Okay, earlier rule is consonant plus LE and this rule is CK plus LE. Let us try to understand. These are all example words. Please have a look at. And sickle is an example word. With the help of this one, let us try to understand this rule. What is the rule? When a word ends with CKLE and this is the word, this word ends with CKLE. What is the rule? CK plus LE. Right? Then what will happen? The word is divided right before LE and the word is sickle and this is divided into these two syllables like this. What is the division? Where is the hyphen? The hyphen is right before LE. Why right before LE? Because of this rule. So try to remember this rule by comparing to earlier rule. Earlier rule is consonant plus LE, right? And there the division is before the consonant. And in this rule, CK plus LE, where is the division? Right before LE, right? And it is disyllabic. Rule 10. A compound word is divided between the two words that make the compound word. Do you understand what is the rule? And before going to understand this rule, you have to know about what is a compound word. A compound word which is made up of two words. Okay, a compound word which is made up of two words. So when you come across or when you find out any compound word and that is divided between the two words which make a compound word. Okay, let us try to understand with the help of some examples. See, it is an example word, football. Okay, football is a compound word. Okay, and this compound word is made up of foot, one basic word, and ball, another root word. Okay, so this compound word consisted of two root words, and in this kind of compound word, which is made up of two root words, where is the division? The division is exactly in between the two root words, right? Okay, let us see one more example. Count down. It is also a compound word which is made up of two root words. One is count and another one down. So this word is divided into two syllables, but where is the division? The division is exactly between two root words. Count is a root word and down is a root word. Okay, so anyway, these two are disyllabic words. And please have a look at some more example words. And these are all some more example words: crosswalk, earring, daytime, blackboard, and drain, coat. Rule 11. When TION and TURE are at the end of a word, they make their own syllable. That means the word is divided exactly before TION or TURE. Let's try to understand with the help of some examples. And these are example words. One is mention and another one is rupture. Coming to mention, the mention is divided into two syllabic word in this manner. What is the division? MEN and TION. So in between MEN and TION there is a division. There is an hyphen. Okay. So here TION is forming another syllable. Remember, when you come across any word that is ending in TION forms another syllable, or that word may be divided exactly before TION. Do you understand? In the same manner, rupture. So rupture is a word, and the division of this word is RUP and TURE. And what is the rule? When a word ends in TURE and the word is divided just as before TURE, and here after TURE, I mean before TURE, there is a division RUP and TURE. So anyway, these two are disyllabic words. Got it? Rule 12. When two vowels come together in a word and are sounded separately, divide the word between the two vowels. Got it? Let me repeat. When the two vowels come together in a word and are sounded separately, then divide the word between two vowels. Please have a look at again and again the meaning of the rule. Then you can understand the rule clearly. Let us see one example word, that is biology, and let us try to apply this rule to this word biology. Okay, so what is the rule? When two vowels come together in a word, see here in this word IO, these two vowels come together. Okay, that means are side by side and are sounded separately. If the two vowels come together and if they are sounded separately, so you try to understand, are these two vowels which came together or sounded separately? Yes, these two vowels are sounded separately. All of you try to see the division. Where is the division? By, all, or, G. And actually the pronunciation of this one is biology. Biology. Okay. And actually I is represented by one vowel sound and O is represented by another vowel sound. And what is the rule? If the two vowels come together in a word and are sounded separately, and I is represented by one vowel, O is represented by another vowel. Of course, we have vowel teams. Vowel teams are represented by only one vowel, and here IO is not vowel team. Do you understand? IO is not vowel team. I is represented by one vowel and O is represented by another vowel. So then, where is the division? Divide the word between the two vowels. Okay. So, where is the division then? Then the division is in between the two vowels. Okay. Let us see one more example, that is radio. See here, radio, okay, D and radio. And here IO again, two vowel sounds which came together but are sounded separately, and E is represented by one vowel I and O is represented by another vowel sound, that is A, and final T is what? Radio. Okay, now where is the division? The division is in between I and O. Got it? Rule 13. When a vowel is sounded alone in a word, it forms a syllable itself. Do you understand the rule? Let me repeat. When a vowel is sounded alone in a word, it forms a syllable itself. Let us try to understand this rule with the help of an example. But on this occasion, let me remind you one thing, that is a syllable structure. Do you remember the syllable structures? At that time, we learn even one vowel is considered as a syllable. That means that vowel is sounded alone. Then only it is possible it is considered as a vowel. Anyway, let us see one example. Alone. It is an example word, and this word is divided into two syllables in this manner. Where is the division? The division is in between A and LONE. Okay. So why A is separated from LONE? Why there is no other consonant or any other vowel? Because A is a vowel and it is sounded alone. It is sounded alone. When a vowel is sounded alone and is considered as a syllable, okay, or and it may be separated from another syllable. So that is the reason why. Where is the division? The division is A and LONE. Let us see one more example. Unit. And this word is also divided into two syllables, and this is the division. Where is the division? Between U and NIT. And here even U is also sounded separately. Even U is also sounded separately. So that's why it is separated from NIT and it forms a separate syllable and unit. Got it?